Hi, welcome to Learning Economics. This is our second video in the Data Analysis with R series. In our first video, we had an introduction of RStudio, and looked at its interface. In this video, we shall start with the basic data handling. So, let's come to the RStudio screen and start our work. So here we are on the R Studio screen. This, as you know, is the console panel. We can write codes in R in two places. One is the console panel, where today we will be writing most of our codes, if not all. There is, however, another place which is professionally more usable and where you can write codes in a better way, but we will come to it later by the end of this video. For now, we will be writing the codes in the console panel. So let's begin with the simple codes. Let's say I just want to see 2 plus 5. So I would just write 2 plus 5. Spaces do not matter. You may give the space or not. Just press enter. You have the answer, that is 7. Similarly, you can write 3 raised to the power by 2 and the answer is 9. You can see that none of the answer is being stored. This environment pane is all blank. So R is not storing anything over here. It is just the code that you are giving, it's being executed. What this number 1 in parentheses show, I will come to it later. Now, if you want to write a code that has some alphanumeric characters or some alphabetic characters, you need to write it between inverted commas. For example, I write South Asia in inverted commas, press enter, and it is executed. But if I write, for example, only in South Asia without any inverted commas, this will not be executed, since R will take it as the name of any object or any variable or any symbol. If it would have been a single letter without any space, it would have taken it as the name of any object and would have looked for it in the environment pane. And for example, we write just Asia. Now, between inverted commas, it is working, but without inverted commas, what it will do, it gives us an error message that the object Asia, which it looked in the environment pane and it failed to find any object with this name. So it gave us an error message. This was pretty straightforward. Now let's see how to create variables in R. To create any variable in R, you first need to think about the name of that variable. For example, we want to create a variable, namely x, whose value is 10. So we would write the name of the variable, that is x. Then we will use this symbol less than and dash without anything else, and then give the value. Now you can remember this symbol as collecting information from the tail end and sending it towards the arrowhead end, where x. So it is collecting the information, that is 5, which is available at its tail end, and sending it in something which is towards arrowhead, that is x. We press enter and we got the variable x, which is stored in the environment pane. And if we want to see the value of x, we will again write x and press enter. Its value, we can see it, the value of it in console pane as well. Now, if you want to create a variable that has some alphabetic, you can create it in a very, very similar way. There is no differentiation, no distinction, except that for the alphabetic variable, you must write it in inverted commas. For example, we write USA in inverted commas and maybe name this variable as Y. So variable Y is created with the name USA. But if you want to create some variables that have multiple values in it, a range of value in it, how to do that? For that, we use the function. Functions are actually some powerful tools, some basic characteristics of these softwares that help us execute many tasks. They make our life more simpler. So we will use combine or concatenate function. You do not need to write the whole concatenate word. You will just need to write C, and then after every value, you need to give a comma. For example, I want to create a variable, namely A, whose value should be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I would press C, open the brackets, I will write 1, comma, 2, comma, 3, 4, 5. Now you can see a variable, namely A, is created, which is a numerical variable, and M means numeric variable. Those values are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now maybe you can better understand this notation. This is 1 by 5. It is actually the matrix notation. It has 1 row and 5 columns. So this 1 over here in the console panel before Asia or before South Asia or before say 9 or 7, it indicated that there is only 1 row in it. So that was being indicated. As you can see here, if we write A, press enter, again, it's giving us an information that there is only 1 row in this, you can say, variable name. Okay, so this is all about creating variables. You can create multiple variables. You can create um, um, as many variables as you like, uh, alphabetic variables, having numerical values, having some characters, etc., etc. Now let's focus more on the functions, because functions help us sometimes even creating a variable when we have a variable of large values that appear with a specific sequence. For example, we want to have uh, first multiples of 5 from let's say 5 to 50. All those numbers that are divisible by 5, they appear as 5, then 10, then 15, then 25, 20, and then 25 with a gap of 5. So instead of writing all those numbers, we just give a name like 5. I give this, I'm giving this name to the variable 5, and I can use the function of sequence over here. I need to tell it from where it should start. It should start from, let's say, 5. Where it go to, it should go to till 50, and by the gap of 5. So from equal to starting point, then 2 equal to that is the ending point, and by equal to that is the gap. This is the whole notation. Now it has created 5, 10, 15, 20, and it is 1 by 10. Its dimensions are 1 by 10. In a similar way, if I want to create another variable ABC, which is also a sequence, and it is the sequence of even numbers. So even numbers, start from 0. So I would start from 0. I will go to, let's say, 20. And you know that and they are gapped by 2. So I will write that. And now you can see that even a vector of even numbers
namely ABC, has been created and its dimensions are 1 by 11. So in the same way, we can create many vectors. We can also perform other operations. For example, I want to calculate the average value of this ABC. I can do this by using the function mean. Then I will open the parentheses. I will open the parentheses and write the name of the variable whose mean I want to find. So I want to find the uh, mean of this ABC, and this is 10. If I want to find, let's say, the standard deviation of, for example, 5, so I would just write SD, and then I will write the name 5, and it's giving me that this is the standard deviation of this is 15.13. In the same way, if I want to store these values, I can use the same way I used to create variables. For example, uh, I am calculating, uh, let's say, the mean of this variable called A, and want to store it with the name mean underscore A. I would use this symbol, and here I will use this function mean A. Now, before executing this code, I just want to highlight that, like many other statistical variables, in R as well, you cannot use space in the name. So you must use underscore or anything like that, not the space. That's why I just wrote the underscore over here. So here it has calculated the mean of this. Similarly, if you want to create a vector of repeated values, like for example, throwing a die can result in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, any number between these, and the probability of getting any number is 1 by 6. So if I want to write the probability of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I know that for each number, the value of the probability is 1 by 6. So I need 6 repetitions of 1 by 6. I can do this by using repetition function. How? Let me show you. PR, I'm giving this name, and I'm writing REP, repeat. Here I will give the value that is needed to be repeated, comma, and then number of times it should be repeated. Press enter, and now you can see that the variable probability has been created. It has value equal to 1 over 6, and it is appearing 6 times. Fine. Now just let me create another very simple variable, and then I will show you why I created and what is the purpose of that. So I'm creating a variable b whose values are 2, 4, 1, 6, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I wanted a 5 number variable. Now I want to calculate the correlation between the two variables, the values of the two variables. How can I do that? I can write just CUR. This is also a function, CUR, and then I can write those two. I would write A and B. Or I can write B comma A. You know the correlation of XY is equal to the correlation of YX. In correlation, the arrangement does not matter. However, what matters is that both these vectors should be of same dimension. That's why I created this vector B. So just press enter and you have the value of the correlation. If you want to store it in the form of some other variable, you can also do that, as we did in the case of mean. So in the same way, you can use, and we will continue to use as we will proceed in this our series, we will continue to use many other functions which are very, very useful, very helpful, very productive, save a lot of our time, and do the work for us. But now let me come to this point which I initiated at the start, that there are two places of writing a code. One we experienced, the console. What is the other place of writing a code? That is using R script. R script, you can access it from the file and then new file, and then you can go to R script, or you can remember this key, shift control shift N. Otherwise, just below that, there is a small plus symbol with a note, with a page sign. This is green colored plus symbol. You can just click on it. It will give the option of R script. Click on it and you have the R script. Here in R script, you can write all the codes as we did. For example, uh, I let's say I want to uh, make a sequence X, Y, Z, sequence of, let's say it should start from 100 and it should go to, let's say, 110, and it must be a gap of 0.5. I'm writing that, pressing enter, it's not being executed. I come to the another line here, I write another code. For example, I'm saying, give me the standard deviation of this X, Y, Z. I want to store this standard deviation as a variable. So I'm just giving a name of that variable, that is S. I'm giving SDXYZ, and then this arrow symbol. You know well, we use this arrow symbol. Again, I press enter, the code is not being executed. I can write all these codes here. And once I finished writing, I can execute these codes either one by one or all of the codes at once. How? Just select those codes. If you want to execute only one code, select it, hit run, it will be executed. Just you can see it's executed. If you want to execute all the other codes or maybe two or three codes, select all those codes, hit run, those will be executed in a similar sequence. What is the other benefit of using R script? On the R script, you can write comments. For example, to explain what you want to do or why you want to do this or how you are doing it, for the other people to better understand your code, you can write the comment. The comment should there be written after the hash symbol. So you will put the hash symbol first, then write the comment. That is the standard deviation of XYZ with variable name SDXYZ. Similarly, you can write the code before the command. Again, you will use the hash symbol. Anything coming after this symbol, R will treat it as a comment, not as a code. So I'm just saying, hello, how is the session? Please let me know in comments. So R will not execute it because it knows it is a comment. And then I write, let's say, uh, Asia, or let's say South Asia. Use this symbol and I use combine or concatenate, and then I put the name of the countries, for example, PAK for Pakistan, IND for India, uh, BD for Bangladesh, NEP for Nepal, MALD Maldives. Oh, what are the other countries in South Asia? I'm forgetting names. Sorry. Yeah. Sri Lanka, another important country, SL Sri Lanka. So let's say this. So now if I select all these three lines, for example, and hit enter, it will first calculate the standard deviation. Then it has not executed this. There is because of this symbol, and then it has executed this code and created this variable. So this is how we can we can create multiple variables in R, we can use the vectors, we can use the other things in R, use some functions. We will use more functions as we proceed, but that is it for this video. In the next video, we shall further our journey on exploring data with R, learn how to import any data from Excel, CSV, or other format to R, how to explore it further. So please share your questions, feedback, suggestions in the comment, and do subscribe to our channel Learning Economics. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.